just like to remind you all that I expect everyone involved in these discussions to do so in a polite and courteous manner, as we always do in full council. But I just thought for once I would underline it. Right, we'll go into the debate, and as Councillor Mrs Bryant is ward councillor, I'm going to ask her, please, to start the debate, to open up the debate. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor, before I start, could I ask your indulgence, because I'm in a unique position here this evening. I'm the only ward councillor able to speak. Unfortunately, my new colleague, Councillor Mrs Cllr, had a prior reservation before she became a councillor, is unable to come here and would have actually been taking her time this evening. And of course, my previous colleague, who sat on the alderman's bench over there, and whilst he did an awful lot of work right up until May, he is unable to speak either. So could I ask for your indulgence a little bit as I try to set the scene and perhaps be helpful towards members in having this debate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs Bryant. Yes, of course, as long as it doesn't go too far over time.
I'll do my best.
Thank you.
Without gabbling. Thank you, Madam Mayor. As one of the ward councillors, I've spent many hours looking into the advantages for Funtley becoming a parish. Whilst we don't have any parish councillors in the borough, I have many friends and contacts in other parts of the county, mainly formed when John and I were involved in mayoral and county chairmanship meetings across the county. And parish meetings were often discussed. And to our surprise, some of the county councillors had as many as 12 parishes within their division. So hearing how other communities are working has been most helpful in my research. Throughout the Community Governance Review, my ward colleagues and I have tried to keep a very open mind, listening to reasons for supporting or rejecting this new village status. For me, this is a very difficult decision to make on how I vote this evening. However I vote, I'm sorry, but I'm going to upset some residents, and this is something that I very much regret. But I will be voting for what I consider is the best interest for all residents of Funtley. Could I just echo what the leaders already said and congratulate our officers and the legal team on the way they have processed this community governance review. The information contained in the report details the terms of reference and clearly sets out all the views of residents participating in the consultations. Madam Mayor, early on in the Community Governance Review, members of the Funtley Village Society were keen to meet with John and I. We had two very amicable and positive discussions at our home, and we explained ways in which FBC's community funding could assist them in obtaining items for their wish list for the village. And following those meetings, FBS applied successfully for 2 additional park benches and a new notice board in the village. We also met and miners arms with members, and along with the chairman of the Whiteley Town Council, who was advising them on ways to run a parish council. And back in March, we attended a workshop with the Chief Executive of Hampshire Association of Local Councillors. With all these goings on, we were extremely impressed with all the efforts from members of FVS in their campaign to form a parish council, as they looked at the possible benefits for the village. This small group had obviously spent a great deal of their spare time working together, as well as producing newsletters for the village. Can I turn to members now and say, as you can see from the report and has been echoed here, the special CAT meeting held in November was very poorly attended. This was disappointing. Initially, actually, we thought we were going to have 2 meetings that evening because we thought we were going to be overwhelmed, as we had done at a previous CAT meeting in Funtley. But after that meeting, it became very clear that not everyone attending was in support. When the first consultation progress began, residents contacted us requesting their names be removed from the petition, and some feeling very uncomfortable, and others questioning the need for a parish council. Payment of the extra precept was the main reason given, for not supporting a parish. Madam Mayor, if you look at page 57 of this report, it clearly gives the criteria to be observed on 10A(1), and it shows clearly the decision must represent the whole community. And I'm not intending to get into arguments regarding percentages and responses, as I feel these can be analysed to reflect the desired result one wishes. But the area designated to be a parish only has 585 residents, approximately. This is a rather low number, making it a very small parish. And I do wonder if such a small number of paying the precept would be a viable proposition. I also wonder if an added precept, an extra layer of bureaucracy, is realistic, especially at a time of uncertainty in local government, with talk of a Solent combined authority. Madam Mayor, it should be noted that anyone living within 3 miles of the parish boundary could be elected to the parish council. This, to my mind, could cause ill feeling within the village, especially if someone living outside the village became its chairman. And there doesn't seem to be any lateral leaders coming forward, to my mind, at the present, as the majority of the FVS members have busy professional careers. They've indicated at various meetings that they wouldn't have time to take on the responsibilities of a parish council. And I very much doubt if a parish council would bring cohesion to the village. I had been favouring a compromise of having a parish meeting, as recommended there. But having read the latest correspondence and listened this evening to the deputy, obviously the Funky Village Society didn't really want to have that, so I have taken that one out of the window. But Madam Mayor, just a couple of miles away, Wallington Village has a thriving community association with many activities involving all of their residents. And I'm aware that they are supported by their local councillor, Mrs. Trott. I do wonder if Funky could evolve in a similar way, bringing the whole village community together. A village fete has been previously mentioned. This would be a great opportunity, to my mind, to have involvement from everyone. And go a step further, maybe even reviving the Funky Reds football team. Could be a good thing. Across the borough, there are several residents' groups which appear to work well, along with input from their local councillors. This, to my mind, minutes from meetings, such that everyone in the village can be aware of events and requests for improvements that can be fed through to FBC via the local councillors. Madam Mayor, in closing, having noted the relevant objections from residents regarding the precept, along with the small number of residents within the defined boundary, I'm sorry, but I feel I must say that I must go along with to make no change to the existing governance arrangements. Thank you for your indulgence, Madam Mayor. I'm very grateful to you.